In this video, we're going to take a look at the built-in marketplace in Sinespace that allows developers and artists to sell in-game items, DLCs, and entire games to end users. Firstly, I should point out that most of what I'm going to describe in this video relates specifically to our public servers. These are servers where developers and artists and end users come together and collaborate and share and trade and socialise around games and live events and other social activities. I'm standing in a welcome centre in our public servers right now, and you can see there are other users hanging out here too. I can click on this user and see everything that they're wearing, and if I like something I can click on that item and see it previewed on my character, and if I like the look of it I can buy it there and then, and the developer who made it gets paid. In the store you can see, as well as clothing, we have other product categories: gestures, vehicles, furniture, rooms, effects and pets. Furniture includes anything that can be spawned from inventory into a region. That could be an entire game like this multiplayer dice table, or it could be components of a game like the weapon givers and spawn points and enemy spawners in the modular first-person shooter framework. Users buying items in the store are buying an in-game item. So to compare this with the Unity Asset Store, the Asset Store is a store for developers buying source files they download to their desktop and can manipulate and use however they want to within the limits of the store license. The Sinespace marketplace is focused on end users, consumers and gamers all over the world who are buying in-game items that they can only access in their in-world inventory and can only use inside Sinespace. If you are already selling content packs in the Unity Asset Store, like for instance Dexsoft or Quantum Theory, who sell these region packs to other developers, you can bring your content into Sinespace and sell it as in-game items end users can use to build and customize their own private spaces. You can sell static items like these buildings and props just by uploading them as furniture items and letting users build regions with them. Or you can wire up content like these vehicles to our modular vehicle system and sell them as interactive game items that end users can buy and drive in competitive multiplayer racing regions. If you're a developer, you can build social games, MMOs, PvE, PvP or entire roleplay communities in Sinespace. You can collaborate with other developers all over the world and build a loyal community of customers who will eagerly await your new releases. We operate the in-world marketplace like a regular consumer-facing app store, giving 70% to the developer and taking a standard 30% cut. When you sell items in the Sinespace marketplace, you can see the sales data in near real time with every customer and product sale timestamped for your review. If you want to verify us as a transparent channel partner, you can set up mystery shoppers and buy your own goods and see the sales all appear in your merchant account. When you upload something to the store, you do so via the virtual good component, which you attach to an item in Unity. This is where you add preview images, any release notes you have and instructions, and you set your price for each individual item. There are two currencies operating in our public server: silver and gold. Silver is a promotional credit that users earn for completing quests and other activities. We therefore do not cash out silver, and you do not have to sell anything for silver if you don't want to. You decide on a per product basis. Gold has to be purchased for real money by end users. It trades at a fixed rate of 100 gold for $1. When a user buys something using gold, we then credit your merchant account with an equivalent value that you can cash out. So as a general recommendation for merchants, we suggest making perhaps 10% of your inventory available for silver. This helps us build the content available for first-time visitors, and it introduces your brand to users before they've decided to add their credit card details to the platform. Then make the remaining 90% of your inventory available for gold only, and cash it out on a regular basis. That's just a suggestion. You can use both currencies however you see fit. If you want to set up your own servers with your own viewers, your own users, your own authentication and all your own content, you can license the Sinespace platform, including all the marketplace infrastructure, and then you take complete control of the marketplace. This is what we call our white label service, and there's a separate video talking through the options for that and how to set that up. As a new developer, when you upload content to the public servers using the virtual goods component, that item will arrive first on the preview servers. Preview servers are accessed by registered developers only, and there is no functioning economy. In the store in the preview servers, you can only see your own content and some sample content from us. Once you have reviewed an item in preview and you want to push it to the live servers and into the in-world store, you come to the curator.sine.space website and click Send to Review. One of our review team members will review the content. We check for any obvious technical issues, we check for appropriateness and any obvious IP infringement. If everything is okay, the item gets approved and goes into the live servers. This process is the same for items you send to the live store and for items you send to live but just retain in your own inventory. But our criteria are more rigorous for items going into the store. For instance, store items must have preview images. If you send an item to the store and we push it back, we will give you notes on why we've rejected it and welcome a resubmission. You can manage updates this way too, pushing the same item through preview and to live. It will be reviewed again by us, and when you do update an item, it will update in the inventories of all of your existing customers. We review content to ensure we do not allow Sinespace to become awash with pirated and inappropriate content. But of course, 95% of content creators are not bad actors. Only a minority of people are trying to rip off other people's IP or upload offensive material. So we certify developers once they've uploaded a minimum number of items through review. Even if you get a few items pushed back in review because there's a technical issue, you should still expect to pass review and get the certification once we've seen your work and can verify that you're a responsible developer. Once certified, you can upload and push content to the live servers yourself. Of course, if an individual developer gets through certification and then starts abusing their position, they'll get turfed out and will have to go back to the review process if they want to continue releasing content. It's not a perfect system, but it's a good balance between our desire to make it easy to get involved and our desire to support real content creators and not to be a safe haven for piracy. Just having the process in place makes us not worth the effort for most bad actors. During 2 years of alpha and beta, we have not had to boot anyone out of the program so far. The most complex area for us to address in relation to the Unity Asset Store and intellectual property management is in relation to interactive content assembly. If you buy a character from the asset store that is not yours and you try to upload it and sell it in Sinespace, that will be a breach of our terms and we will reject the item or pull it down if it gets through and we are later notified. But if you buy that item from the asset store and use it as a non-player character or an enemy in a game that you're building in Sinespace, that is an appropriate use of the asset. And you can charge for access to the game that you create using that character, and presumably other props like trees and rocks and textures and so on. So where do we draw the line between those two cases? It's a bit of a grey area because there are so many different use cases. So our advice is, if in doubt, get in touch and ask. As a general rule, if we can see that you are adding substantial value, then we will let the content through. And we have no problem at all with people uploading content that they buy from the asset store to use in their own regions and as their own characters if they are not being resold or given away to other users. That again is an appropriate use of the asset store license. We don't want to encourage asset flipping, but we don't want to get in the way of creative work. We're in the process of developing a derivation tree which will formalise a method for people to add to each other's work with a shared payment structure in place. We'll be rolling that out later this year. Until then, feel free to ask our community team for advice and feedback if you have anything that might be an edge case that you're not sure about. I hope that's a useful introduction to the Sinespace marketplace and the commercial opportunity that it represents. We want to make it easy for everyone to collaborate, trade and share their work in a dynamic multiplayer world full of surprising and exciting content.